Some maps are drawn but never followed. Some adventures dreamed of but never experienced. To the Mad Mage, this was the greatest sin of all. He asked each of us, if you really want to be great, how far will you go? For over 15 years, we had no answer for him. Until today. Our journey to Castle Zagyg starts now. The fortified town of Yggsburgh hums with life. Traders, rogues, and scholars all gather together on the edge of the unknown. Depending on your neighborhood, the cobbled streets may be lined with strangers of an unscrupulous sort, but make no mistake, the people here hold the key to untold wealth and knowledge. Beyond the town's walls, past the rivers and the rolling hills, the ruins await. Crumbling towers, forgotten halls, and a darkness that stirs again at last. Most who enter the caves below may never be seen again, but those who do emerge will be remembered in legends for generations to come. And beneath it all, deep in the belly of the world, lie the upper floors of the dungeons. In this lightless place, you'll find twisted experiments, lost artifacts, and horrors unseen by mortal eyes. These are the first 5 layers of a labyrinth built by the Archmage Zagyg himself. This is more than a campaign setting. It's a gateway to adventures beyond your wildest dreams. So, will you walk with me, traveler? Don't you want to be great? How far will you go? We're on the internet. Hello, hello, hello. The early crew came in so strong today. Blaze, welcome in. Dougal, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. Matthew, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. How's it going? DM Chris, welcome in. Dave DeTroll, hello, hello, welcome in. Crimson Arrows, well met. Hoyt, hey, Hoyt, how's it going? Twitter RA, welcome in. Wintery, welcome in. Nevada Knight, hello from Michigan. How's it going in Nevada? Nevada, eh? Lummox Beast, welcome in. Y and Dot Mike, welcome in. Hoyt Paris, thanks to I see you tuning in on double streams. Welcome in, welcome in. Sweeper, welcome in. Whew. That is an early crew. That is the crew turned out. Gang, how's it going? David, thanks for tuning in. You might be thinking to yourself, Grace, I don't see any green. And to that I say, oh shit, it doesn't even look that green. This is green beer. Wait. I know exactly what to do. Hang on. Hang on. 1 second. Why does that look... I can't make it look green on camera. Whatever. Anyway. I have fucked with that a lot of times on stream. Unrelated to drinking green beer. But tonight we have Grayson Toasted. No, that's for Thursday through Sunday in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I'm reserving my toasty hours for when I have spotted cow, as is, I'm sure, a lot of other people. Corona tastes pretty good green, but I've kind of let it get like not cold, you know what I mean? I've let it warm up a little bit. How are y'all? God damn, it's been a crazy week for the trolls. I tell you that. Phantom, welcome in. How's it going? It's good to see you. I backed Castle Zagyg on the first day. I met the Gygax clan at page 2, and they are awesome. Couldn't be happier to back this project. Dude, Dougal, thank you. We really super duper appreciate it. The support for Castle Zagyg has like gobsmacked us. We were expecting to do maybe like 200,000, 325. We just broke 400,000. I think like a couple hours ago. Shit is nuts. This has just absolutely blown us away, like the support that's been shown for this project. And I know that like Steve and Luke in particular have fought so hard for this to like even be a thing that we're doing. So to see it be so well received and to see people supporting it, it means like it means so much to us. See you Wednesday or Thursday morning. Hey, let's go. I'm so excited. Who all's gonna be there? Sound off in the comments if you're coming to GaryCon. It's my Friday today. I'm still working tomorrow. But it feels kind of like a Friday today too. 2 members of our booth crew are flying in to Michigan, and they're going to drive up with us. Very, very excited. Doing all right, trying to make sure I have everything I need for GaryCon. My flight is less than 36 hours away. It's coming up. So excited. Very, 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 very cool. Are you feeling prepared? Fox off, welcome. RPG, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. It's good to see you. Remember, it's Patty's, not Patty's Day. We make fun of Americans who say Patty in Ireland because it sounds like an auntie. Well, hey there. It's just St. Patty's Day. We're just out here in the Midwest celebrating St. Patty's Day. I learned an Irish term for cheers, and I've forgotten it already. Hey, Kingsley, welcome in. Good to see you. Sláinte. What was it? Sláinte. Sláinte. I'm butchering it. I know I am. I had to carry him home like a baby because he made friends on his adventures. Oh. Are you talking about Blaze? Did I miss it? Had to leave work because Blaze didn't escape. Oh my god. I'm glad he's okay. He just tuckered himself out, playing with all his new friends. We fly out Wednesday at like 11 a.m. Hell yeah. I'll be there way too early on Wednesday. Ready for GaryCon. Be there Friday and Saturday only. Faster Welby, welcome in. It's good to see you. And Jellycake, greetings from Canada. Hello from Michigan. Your downstairs neighbor. How's it going? How's it going up there? Halamir, okay, welcome in. I've never played CNC, but I backed Zagyg, and I'm going to round up my gaming friends of 30 years to play some CNC for the first time in Zagyg when it launches. I promise you, you're going to have a great time. I am like a 5e convert to CNC. CNC filled in a lot of... It filled a lot of like... My brain is like, don't say holes. It filled holes. Like, don't say holes. Like, if it ticked a lot of boxes that I didn't realize I was like waiting to have like ticked. I guess I'll put it that way. A lot of people are excited about this project, and the Trolls are such excellent publishers for Gary's legacy. We all really appreciate you all. Dude, thank you. I mean, all you have to do is hear Steve talk about it once. Like, he cares so much about doing right by Gary and like fulfilling the promises that he made to him as like his mentor, you know? And this isn't like this isn't a money grab, you know what I mean? This is not like yeah, we're gonna milk the Gygax name for all it's worth and get as much money as we can out of this. Like, the whole team really wants to approach this with a lot of integrity, and like this is bigger to us than just like using somebody's name to promote something that hasn't been on shelves in a while. Like, this setting inspired so many people, and it's like a part of history, you know, and I think that's valuable. And what we want it to be is, you know, we want to like respect, obviously, like the Gygax legacy, but this is also bigger than Gygax. This is a tabletop RPG sandbox where thousands of gamers cut their teeth and were just like permanently inspired to like keep playing tabletop RPGs. And gamers everywhere, of all experience levels, of all ages, they all deserve to have that same like inspiration. So this is very, very, very important to us. And I know that I've been waxing poetic for a while, and I'm behind on chat. I'm sorry. So, oh god, I've already forgotten how to pronounce it. Hey Chuck, welcome in. Everyone's saying it slanty. Schlanty? How was it? Slancha. 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 Wait, okay. Slancha. In Greece we say yamas. When do I put in for the raffle? Dave, I'm embarrassed to say I don't run a raffle on my Monday stream. I'm so sorry. I would love to. I don't fully know how to do it. So this stream is very short, sweet, simple. If you show back up on one of like Chuck's streams, he always runs a raffle. He's very, very good at that fun stuff. First time on Twitch. Hey, well, hey, welcome to Twitch. It's good to see ya. Hey, Foxy. Hallo, willkommen. Wie geht's? Es ist sehr gut, dir zu sehen. Es ist sehr gut, dir zu sehen. Ist das recht? I have not done German in a very, very, very long time. CNC seems like the spiritual successor to AD&D. That's totally accurate. Yeah, I think that's kind of exactly how it's described. That's how most people seem to relate to it. I never played AD&D. Actually, I played it once with Jay Scott, Lord Gazumba. I was a guest on one of his for one of his actual plays, and it was so fun. But I didn't internalize like a ton of the rules that time. I would love to dive deeper into AD&D, but I don't know if I ever will, because CNC is kind of become my favorite. It's kind of the mainstay here. I was on a stream with Steve, and his excitement and passion for the storytelling of Castle Gygax is just amazing. Yeah. And that's just the kind of person that he is, and really that the whole team is. Like, I think you'll find if you hear any of us talk about any of this stuff for any length of time, for me it's aired. For Jason, it's like amazing adventures, and like, just, I don't know, we all have like that thing, you know, here in the company that we are like obsessed with and just love talking about. It's awesome. In Germany we say Prost, I knew Prost, or Mahlzeit. Mahlzeit. I love German. It's such a cool language. At a Guinness, because that beer dates back to 1757, it makes me feel like I'm a highwayman. That like rocketed me back into a memory where I was lucky to like meet up with someone that we'd met on Twitch, and we were just like in the same area, met up at a bar, and he ordered like a big thing of Guinness. Is it a pint?
Yeah, I guess so.
One of the big glasses. And the lady like set it down on the table, and she was like, there you go. And then she handed me my thing, and I was like, oh, thank you. And turned back to him, and it was gone. And he drank it. He was like, now I'm started. Now we got the party started. Now I can sip my next one, but you got to pound the first Guinness. Is that Yeah, to kickstart it. That's what we in the Midwest. That's what we call kickstarting it. It's dich zu sehen. Ah, okay. I'm gonna remember that for next time. I used to remember more like grammatical stuff. Grammatik. That's all right. Jay internalizes them for you. He was like, I failed a saving throw to be paralyzed. I was going to be paralyzed. And he was like, do you want to spend an inspiration or do you want to just eat this? You should probably spend an inspiration. And that made me want to eat it and just be paralyzed. But if the GM tells you that you should probably act in your own best interest, I guess you should. Wait until you can play on Foundry with all the books. Shameless plug there. Yeah, Dan Kingsley is converting a lot of our CNC stuff to Foundry, and it's very exciting. So if you're looking for like VTT, like Castles and Crusade stuff, I believe a lot of that's coming really soon. Is that right? Hey Ryan, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. It's going great. We've got green beer. We're here on a St. Patty's Day. You really have to visit Germany if you haven't yet, or visit again if you have. We also we have some pretty cool spots, and I can teach you some more German. I want to learn some more German. I want to visit Germany. I've never been to Germany. I studied the language for 5 years and never visited. That sucks. I hope the library can get to GaryCon in the future. Which library? Also, Alexandria, welcome in. Good to see you. We've been telling everyone about the campaign. We are excited for you guys. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm not familiar with your username, but you guys are like another publishing company, right? Can you share a little bit about like what you do and what the library is? Mostly done. Very exciting. Can't wait for the VTT. Me neither. It's going to make it just, I don't know, like all my friends live in other states and we use a lot of VTTs. So it'll be nice to have it all up on Foundry. Are you from Michigan, Grace? I live in East Lansing. Yeah, I am born and raised in Michigan. I lived in East Lansing for 5 years when I was like going to school in Michigan State. And then lived in Lansing for another like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. Time is weird soup. Hey, GD, thanks so much for the sub. One of us. 32 months. Goddamn. Thanks for putting up with us for that long. I started on putting CNC into Foundry, and I found out someone was doing on a professional level, so I quit. Well, hey. Perhaps your mastery could be, your skill mastery could be useful to the team. I don't know. The more the merrier, right? I love Germany, nice people. I've heard that. I've heard that like France is where everyone's like mean to you, and Germany is where people are like nice to you. You're gonna be running around, Gary. I'm gonna be running around. Speaking of, I've got to make sure that my camera is charged, because I just started using an actual camera to like take pictures of things at cons. You know, like an actual social media manager should, you know, taking actual pictures with an actual camera instead of just running around with my phone and like, you know, not film. It's a digital camera, but like still, you know, better quality than like a phone cam. I did it amateur first, but it took 2 years to convince the trolls to do it big. They were very resistant at first, which I get. I mean, it's tough to like, I don't know. If you're in the industry and you don't think that you need to have stuff on VTT, like your business is strong enough, like it could be hard to like get on the bandwagon for it, but it's so convenient having everything on a VTT. My goal for this GaryCon is to get as many pics with people as possible. Dude, anytime if you see me, ask me for one. No matter what, like I'll totally take a picture of you with whoever. We are a nonprofit RPG library that travels to events to share role-playing with the masses. We have about 8,000 books now. Are you serious? I'm going to follow you guys. That's so cool. That's That's really awesome. What an important thing for the community. And you said you're not going to be at GaryCon this time, but maybe next year. I gotta talk to you probably sometime tomorrow, work related. I have an idea. Say no more. Absolutely. Let's talk. We have a full campaign settings in the works for Foundry. What kinds of campaign settings? Any with the initials C and Z? Can you link them to the Facebook page and give them a plug? Yeah, let me find your website, Alexandria RPG. Are y'all leaving tomorrow or Wednesday? We're leaving Wednesday. We're getting the rest of the booth crew tomorrow, but then we're all going to drive out on Wednesday. AlexandriaRPG.org. This is so cool. Guys, thank you for like coming and like telling us about your mission and hanging out. Check out their website. Support libraries because holy shit, libraries are some of the most important cultural resources ever, and they're more important now than ever. Just ran my first session yesterday of the first Fallout video game ported to a VTT. The first Fallout video game ported to a VTT. I found a lot of inspiration in looking at old isometric maps and animated sprites to be used for campaigns. That's so cool. That's really cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. It would be really fun to play in like a Fallout campaign. We have Amazing Adventures, which I think would be more like suitable to that than C&C, because C&C is much more like the high fantasy kind of thing, and Amazing Adventures is more multi-genre. That sounds really fun. That sounds awesome. How's it going? It was your first session. How'd it go? Whoops. I'm gonna hit the desk. I'd love to go to GaryCon, but the cold up there scares me. All things considered, it's pretty mild this year, I think. I think it's gonna be pretty mild this year. It's been a crazy March so far, because on Saturday we had 71 degree weather and it was sunny and beautiful, and I had forgotten what it felt like to feel warm outside, and it was awesome. And then on Sunday it snowed all day, like really heavily, and was crazy. And then today it was kind of in the middle. But I think it's going to be mild in like Geneva. I think I saw it ranging from like the high 20s to low 40s. Going to be snowy Wednesday night and Thursday. If it must. If it's going to be cold, I would prefer that it snow. You know what I mean? I can only imagine the panel on Castle Zagyg that you'll have at GaryCon. I love the panel at Page too. Dude, thank you. Yeah. I hope that it's like hopping in there, you know? I'm excited for it. It's been so crazy, like having the Castle Zagyg crowdfunding campaign active, and then also trying to like prepare for the con and like write up a schedule and make sure that like everyone's where they need to be. Like we've all been keeping a lot of like spinning plates in the air right now. Called Secrets of the Frontier, 120 plus hours of gameplay, 7 core modules, 15 side missions, over 100 towns. Dude, that sounds awesome. Secrets of the Frontier, is that a like a high fantasy kind of setting, or more of like a multi-genre kind of thing? We'll be inside, so who cares? The worst thing is when you have to like walk between like the main like hotel space along that outdoor like sidewalk into the convention hall. You can just go underground through the tunnels, and that's what I usually do. I didn't realize until recently that the Geneva Grand Hotel was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. I didn't know that. until like last year. The session went well. The players loved it since they never played the old games. Includes all the maps, quests, NPCs and such, but allows for players to deviate from the strict narrative in unique ways. That sounds like so much fun. I mean, the Fallout world is so like dynamic. I love that about the Fallout franchise. I say like a little skeptically accepting like the newest Fallout. I wanted to like it so bad. It was so cool of them to do an experimental like no NPCs type story. But I don't know. I really miss the presence of NPCs in the newest Fallout. But aside from that one, I feel like they made such a fun like franchise and world to explore. We had a crappy winter this year. It actually snowed like a lot in the Panhandle. The snow actually fell in Jacksonville, which like 45 minutes from my front door. I heard it snowed in Florida. That was crazy. That was wild to hear that. I leave Omaha around 7 a.m. from Omaha just when the snow starts here. I have rain and wind the whole drive. And so you'll be driving safely, yes. Please say yes. When you run Castle Zagyg, have a dictionary and or thesaurus with you. Gary was at his obscure verbiage best with this one. Well, haven't I got a book for you? Why not check out The Storyteller's Dictionary by James Ward? Or better yet, you can get the collection, The Storyteller's Dictionary and The Storyteller's Thesaurus by James Ward. It's faster than Google. It's faster than Googling terms and finding your answer. So you can get both of those on the TLG website. Jacoboom, welcome in. Happy Patty to you too. Well, make sure you get a copy when we publish. That's really sweet. I really appreciate that. I would love to explore it. Doubled Omaha there. It deserves a 2-time mention. Oh, and they're ruled by a tribunal of living gods who are actually mortal and stole powerful from an ancient lost relic. Wait, what is this? Whomst? Where? What did I miss? Who is ruled by the tribunal? Whomstative. Savage, welcome in. Better late than never. Hey, welcome in. It's good to see you. A cheers. This is my green beer. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, it has limes in there, so it's doubly green. It just looks brown. My God, I swear in person it's really pretty and really green. That kind of looks closer to what it actually looks like in real life.
It's not showing up green.
No, it's not. It's showing up brown.
Hot.
Ew. Gross.
Everybody loves a hot brown.
You can't say that, actually.
It's a sandwich.
T-Bird, I'm so sorry. I don't have a route full active. It's actually getting greener looking as the stream goes on. Hell yeah.
The drunker you get, the greener it looks.
The drunker you get, the greener it looks. We are all ruled by the tribunal of grace, of knock, and trouble. We're all ruled by trouble. How long are you streaming for? I was going to go for a cool 2 hours. We're about halfway through. Unless I get sleepy, in which case we'll end earlier. My parents winter in the Daytona area. When it gets that cold, the news warns people to bring their pets inside and check on their elderly neighbors. It's hilarious. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. I lived in Nashville for a couple of years. And that was my first time living in a place that wasn't Michigan. And I was really shocked that like they had no infrastructure for dealing with like poor weather. It snowed and the whole city shut down. I lived within walking distance of my workplace. I was working somewhere else at the time. And like they closed. They were like, you can't walk out there. It's too cold. There's snow on the ground. I'm like, dude, I was forged in ice. They carved me from ice. Troll green. If you can see through it, it's not real beer, just American beer. Oh, okay. Okay. So what is a beer? What's a real beer? Let's hear it. I posted it again. I don't know if it's going through or if I'm using illegal words or something. It's not going through, and it's not giving me the option to like approve it or disprove it, which I wonder, can you guys see the link to the Alexandria RPG website? I just posted it in chat. Did the link appear? We playing CNC tonight? Not tonight. Yep. Okay, good. I was worried that didn't post the first time. We're not playing CNC tonight. However, a fun development. We're not streaming it, but I just want you guys to know that it's happening. The rest of our booth crew, who you'll meet at GaryCon, those of you who are attending, Chris and Johnny. I am running Nick, Chris, and Johnny through Blood and Briar, which was like the little adventure that I ran for the players on Tuesday nights in our Tuesday game. And it already feels like both groups of players are so fun. They're just very different. I feel like this adventure is going to go like a little bit different. And I'm very excited for it. I'll give the play-by-play each week, but we're going to play in person, actually. Tomorrow, we're going to do our second session of it. When it snowed here, Governor DeSantis called a state of emergency. That's Florida, right? Snow, we're getting to the edge of 90 this week. Where are you again, Manfred? I don't remember. If you're at liberty to say. Not everyone wants to chew their beer. American beer is fine. See, thank you. You know what? For the longest time, I didn't even like beer at all. Because I wanted to like the really rich, like dark, like browns and stouts and all sorts of stuff. And that's just not me, man. I like a nice light thing that doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna implode and die after I drink it. Easy, breezy, beautiful, green. What more can you say? I've been playing Mountains of Morrowind lately, and holy god, I want to run that as a game. A temperate volcanic island where the inhabitants subsist off mushrooms and giant eggs laid in caves by native forager creatures. That sounds awesome. Dude, if you do, let me know, because that sounds cool as fuck. I've never played Morrowind. I played Skyrim. I missed the boat on Morrowind. The locals are all surface-dwelling dark elves who organize into houses that operate as connets? I'm not totally sure how that's pronounced because my ignorance is showing. No traditional monsters, just weird original ones people get around by riding on 30-foot-tall fleas called silt striders. I love original monsters. Cities are in dire structures called cantons because the ash makes the weather too unreliable to have open-air cities. Damn, that's really cool. Hey, Death Angel, welcome in. That's really cool. Like, that's an awesome world to, like, play in a tabletop RPG. Plenty of, like, hazards to try to navigate. That sounds really fun. Anybody tried Country Boys Brewing Shotgun Wedding English Brown Ale on draft? It's delicious. It's got an essay for a title, for a name, but I love the sound of that. Brown ales are like nutty, right? Okay. Ready to try a spotted cow? I have never tried a spotted cow. Not at one single GaryCon have I ever had a spotted cow. Houston shuts down for cold weather with slight snow. Bless their hearts. Oh, bless them. I like corn liquor. Maybe more efficient. Is that like moonshine? Is that corn?
Like
Drink their corn from a jar. That song. What's it called? Rocky Top.
You got it, boss.
Thanks. Just one more day of work and I get to leave for the con of the Gary. We're very excited. Come see us in the TLG booth. Same next year for me. There's too much going on at work for me this year. Man, I'm sorry to hear it. You know, like, if we were sensible, we would probably decide the same thing with, like, the campaign going on and all sorts of stuff, but what can you do? Which, by the way, if you haven't checked it out already, I'm going to post the link in chat. Check out Castle Zagyg. It's pretty cool. Are we just dropping random homebrew setting lore? Yes, absolutely we are. 100%. I saw you passed 400k. Congrats. Yeah, I think that was just a few hours ago. Today that happened. Super, super excited about it. I mean, our expectation for this Kickstarter was like around the 325 mark total. So to have hit 400k less than a week into the Kickstarter has just like blown our minds. It's crazy. Never played Morrowind. I beat that one. Got busy right after I bought Skyrim. My kids played the heck out of it though. Man, I'm glad to hear that your kids got some enjoyment out of it at least. I feel like those early days of like the release of Skyrim were so special. It was, I mean, that it was the first time that a game had ever made me really feel the way that Skyrim made me feel, where the whole world was really just totally open to you. Like, I'd played open world games and stuff, but in Skyrim you're really left to like make your own adventure, and it can go a lot of different ways. And I hadn't really experienced that before Skyrim, and I wish that I'd played more of it when I was in high school. I just didn't have a bunch of time. Hey, great cast! Thanks for tuning in from X. I see you in Lake Geneva this week. You will indeed, my friend. I'm very, 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 very excited about it. Can't wait to see if Gary Gygax included any weird new monsters for Castle Zagyg. I think you'll be pleased. I'm pretty sure you'll be pleased. And they're ruled by a tribunal of god. Okay. A tribunal of gods who killed the island's hero champion and siphoning power off a forgotten artifact called the Heart of Lorcan, a device built originally to power a mechanical god. That is fucking cool. That feels almost a little bit like sci-fi-y, and I love when there's a blend of sci-fi and fantasy together. That fucking rocks.
But what they don't tell you is that they're not actually gods.
You want to come over here and say that louder? I don't know if the mic picked it up. Come here. No, come here. Come here, share. Come Lord drop.
No.
Please.
Everybody knows.
I don't know. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah.
No, come on.
Wait, can you repeat it then?
Well, yeah. Just that they're not actually gods. They weren't always gods. They became gods through deception.
Through deception? You can just lie your way to godhood? I guess you can. I guess you could. I guess that makes sense. That's basically what well, never mind. Spoilers. This is Wiley Hobbit, one of the co-hosts of Greycast. Hey, how's Greycast going? Can you tell me a little bit about Greycast? I don't think I've had the pleasure. It's nice to meet you. What's Greycast? Tell us about it. Inside the volcano dwells the only other living ally of the hero, now enemy of the tribunal, who himself used the heart to also become a god. He's the main villain, but also the best friend of the protagonist in a previous incarnation. Shit's wild. Ooh, when you throw in like complicated relational shit like that, I'm hooked. Absolutely, that sounds so cool. Dakota is holding down the TLG fort. He is. He's going to be at GaryCon too, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure he is. I certainly hope so, because he's like the powerhouse behind the TLG booth. We couldn't do it without him. Dakota's amazing. I've never seen like a more charismatic salesperson ever in my whole life. I'm doing my part trying to keep Dakota busy. Ordered something on Friday. Probably will order something else tomorrow. Hey, none of us are complaining. He is, so I have been told, like, we're a little bit behind on shipping. Usually we're able to do it within, like, 1 to 3 days, but we're up to a week behind right now just because of the everything that's happening. So thank you all in advance for your patience with us. I do not actually recommend playing Morrowind. It's rough to play. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it looks the way it does, and, you know, whatever. I imagine if you don't have, like, the nostalgia to it, then it might, unless you're really able to, like, overlook that kind of stuff and just, like, dive right in, maybe it might fall a little flat. Running CNC and Greyhawk this year. Still have some seats open. Ooh, I wonder if I can get the GaryCon event schedule. Daily schedule, maybe? That's probably right. No, this isn't right. I really should just have... Oh, tabletop.events. That's probably right. Okay. Now we're in business. Check it out. This is the events list for GaryCon. Search up Castles and Crusades and play to your heart's content. That'd so rock an Amazing Adventures. It would. That sounds really cool. All my homies hate the Tribunal. Fuck the Tribunal. Fuck the Tribunal. Fuck the Tribunal. My favorite homebrew is one where wizards in a city tried to use Wish and Time Stop, only to make a Groundhog's Day style time warp. The players need to survive until the end of the day to stop the loop. That's super cool. That sounds like a fun, like, one-shot, honestly. That sounds really cool. Hello there. Rich, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. How are you? Well, that's the premise of Stargate. All of the gods are alien races, either enslaving or trying to help humans. You know what I've been diving back into today is Mass Effect. There's a certain theory around the end of Mass Effect that I don't want to say out loud because Nick is still in the process of playing through Mass Effect, and I don't want to spoil it. So I don't want to say the name of the theory because it has spoilers. But if you know... If you know, you know. No, they'll infer. Those who know will know. This is an infamous, like, theory about the ending of Mass Effect 3 and really about the entire story of Mass Effect. We're a podcast all about Greyhawk. We're in season 4. Dude, that rocks. That's so awesome. Congratulations on, like, entering your 4th season. That's super cool. Do you guys play in Greyhawk or, like, talk about Greyhawk, a combination of both? Don't get it twisted. Dagoth Ur is evil as hell. He wants a Dunmeri ethnostate and is turning people into sludge. I feel like I understood the important half of that. I recognized ethnostate and turning people into sludge.
Dunmer is like the word for dark elf.
Oh, okay. So he wants a dark elf ethnostate. Got it. We all want. That's funny. Greycast is awesome. Dude, I bet. Thanks for the shout out in chat. I, the chief librarian, have been sharing the CNC books Chuck sent us. We just had a big Comic-Con in Seattle and shared it there. Well, hey, thanks for doing the good work and putting more CNC in more hands. We super appreciate it. Sorry, at work and slow. Dude, you're fine. The same. Technically same. I'm also at work. and also I'm slow all the time. Man, I didn't think about it. I'm only having one. Like, don't get it twisted. We're not getting sloshed, but I'm drinking on the job.
I'm reporting you.
Don't report me. I need this job. Don't call Steve. You'll interrupt him in the middle of his cheeseburger.
Call it the BBB.
No. The better.
Business Bureau.
What's a funnier acronym? Bebop Blubber. Bebop Blubber Bubble is my OC in Disney's Toontown, if you are curious about what kind of gamer I am.
It's deeper than that. It's not just on Toontown. It's on an active Toontown private server.
I joined an active Toontown private server so that I could continue playing Toontown.
This isn't like 2006. It's 2025.
I'm 28. I pay taxes. And that entitles me to play Toontown.
Yes, it does.
The Better Burger Bureau. That's what we need. Toontown ruled. Yes! Hell yeah. Shout out to all the tunes in Toontown. Hey, yo, never forget where you come from. You know what I mean?
The mean streets of Donald's Dreamland.
Listen. Getting to Donald's Dreamland is not easy. You gotta avoid the cogs, you know? Say what you will. Toontown is a crazy fun game if you're like 6. And it's pretty entertaining if you're 28. And also me.
Yeah.
Packing up for GaryCon tonight, leaving tomorrow. Woo-hoo! We're leaving Wednesday morning, and I'm so excited. I know that I've talked about starting a World of Warcraft TLG guild. What if we just all play Toontown? We'll just all raid into the private Toontown server and party it up in Toontown. Come on. You're telling me you wouldn't join? I haven't heard Toontown in a bit. Listen, we're all about the throwbacks in this house. Don't worry, they were drunk on the job yesterday because he wasn't straining slosh this weekend. That's the exhaustion just getting to them. The week that they have had, I think that I have probably had it the easiest out of any of the trolls. And I've been absolutely like slammed and things have been insane. And I think I've had it the easiest. Steve and Chuck in particular, I just want to like shout out Chuck. The amount of work that Chuck, he worked for like, what did you say, 17 hours yesterday or today? What's the difference? Shit's crazy. So yeah, the whole crew has been scrambling, putting in overtime, all sorts of crazy shit. It's been a nuts butts week. I played OG Toontown and its revival. There was a revival aside from like this private server. I also played OG Toontown. Okay, anyone who play, this is now a Toontown stream. Thanks. Everyone else can leave. Quick Toontown talk. Quick Toontown town hall. In Minnie's Melody Land, whatever it's called, Minnie's like music little neighborhood. Those of you who played the OG Toontown, when you were like walking on the instruments, didn't it make instrument sounds? There's like a place where there's like piano keys. I swear I remember like jumping my little tune on those keys and then playing notes. And like there was a cymbal and a drum set and you could like jump on the drums and it would like play a drum sound. Did I imagine that? Okay, tune talk over. Don't interrupt Steve in the middle of his Dr. Pepper. That's a beast, uncaged for sure. You gotta know when not to poke the troll. Does Chuck ever stop working? No. I've run the Toon RPG at events recently. There's a Toon RPG? Are you serious? I didn't know that. We've got to play the Toontown RPG. Let's dig in. We got to do it. It's amateur night. I avoid going out on amateur nights. Shlanti? Slancha. I keep reading it, and every time I read it, it wipes the pronunciation of it from my brain.
You don't want to ever read any kind of Gaelic language.
Shlanta. Slancha. Slancha. Slancha.
It's almost like cilantro.
Slancha.
We should just
Cilantro.
go back and say cilantro to everyone.
Hey, cilantro! How to get kicked out of Ireland in one step. Are we building a Kulakan with the tools of Kagranak or what? Am I right? Who's with me? Toontown is a land in the Magic Kingdom, or used to be. My brother retired from Disney. I would love to go to Toontown IRL. I used to play the Toon RPG in the 90s. If I remember, you got benefits from making the GM laugh. That's so cute. That's really cute. Wait, if there was a tabletop RPG that was like a don't laugh kind of like challenge. Like the Brethren. Oh my god, we talked about the Brethren, I think, last stream. The Brethren is a real cult that's I don't know, based in America. They have two tenants that we know of. We
eat trash and we don't laugh.
They eat garbage. And they're not allowed to laugh. And that's the Brethren. It's a cult. It's a real cult. Toon the RPG, it exists. Steve Jackson Games published it and it's still available as a PDF. Dude, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing after this. That sounds awesome. Who up building they second Numidium? Wait, let me guess. A Numidium? Numidium. A Numidium is it's a type of rock. It's a type of ore. And when you wear it as armor, when you smelt it into equipment, it boosts your speed. It makes you go new. New medium. Did I get it? It makes you go new. New. I wouldn't be doing much laughing if I was eating trash. I guess being really severely poisoned every single day and having your insides constantly attacking like foreign body, like just crazy, like trash. I guess that would kind of put a damper on your daily kind of attitude, huh?
But if you're already eating trash, laughter is the last thing you have.
That's true. That's true. What does Old Midium do? Old Midium, it makes you 20 years older and 20% less attractive. You're old and mid. If you eat it. It's a rock that you eat. It's a rock that you eat. It makes you 20 years older, 20% less attractive. Old Midium. Final answer. Doc Shoulder, welcome in. How different is the new castle going to be different from what was previously published? It's not. It's not going to be different at all. It's going to be, in fact, very, very familiar to anyone who has like owned a previous like publication of Castle Zagyg. What's going to be different is it's going to receive an editing pass. So just like a good faith, like typos and just making shit like readable. It'll have new like full color art. And the bulk of the real material that's going to be actually different isn't changed material. It's just material that wasn't published previously. So that's going to be the 17 levels of the dungeon. The first dungeon level was written, I think, by Jeffrey Talanian. I could be wrong about that. Chuck or Jeremy, call me out. The first dungeon level was written previously, but 2 through 17 were planned for and like written up in Gary's notes, but never written for publication. They just didn't get there. So we're going to be writing out like those levels, and it's going to be super exciting. We have Mike Stewart on board. Mike Stewart helped Gary Gygax write Yggsburgh. So we're very excited. But we really want to keep it like honest to like what Gary's vision for the dungeon and all this stuff was. You know, we don't want to like make some crazy changes. That's what you get for eating rocks. Come on. man. Every rock is just potentially the last candy you ever enjoy. And that's how I like to look at life. 17 levels of dungeon crawl. It's going to be crazy. We have unlocked the cutaway map, which I'm super grateful for, because that's going to be really, really helpful in just like visualizing these 17 dungeon levels that are going to be themselves like expansive and complicated and like an adventure, you know, in each level basically. So what if I changed my name to Trash and then joined said cult? Cannibalism or unlimited fellatio? From people whose mouths are just perpetually infected with all kinds of like the worst bacteria you could probably ever imagine, to be put in and around your body, you can just take your pick and it's both. Very nice. We played through the original pub. That's awesome. That's super, super cool. We're going to be pulling for our raffle. I think audio's a little low. Let me turn it up a little bit. Was it low for anybody else? I turned it up just a teensy little bit. I think at GaryCon, if we're able to like stream, I think we're going to pull results for the raffle live. I think. Maybe. That raffle is for everyone who pledged within the first like 48 hours of the campaign, which if you missed that, I'm so sorry. You can watch and enjoy and watch people win cool things. There's no raffle tonight, unfortunately. But the raffle for the Eastmark Gazetteer, these are original publications and they're all signed by Luke Gygax himself. It's the Eastmark folio, so it contains all of like the setting info for like the Eastmark, minus Yggsburgh. You said raffle. I know, I said the magic word. I'm sorry. I haven't set up a raffle for tonight, and I usually don't do a raffle on Mondays. I've never done a raffle on Mondays, but maybe one day. I just haven't. I finished my green beer. Oh, it got like lukewarm. But it's a Corona, and it's good for limes. Ugh. So we're very, very, very excited about Castle Zagyg. I think it's going to be, it's going to be a huge effort. It's going to, like, the magnitude of this is crazy. But goddamn if we're not totally up for it. Wait, shit. Wait. I missed lore. Jeremy, I'm sorry. The Numidium is /are mechanical gods designed to help the dwarves. Is dwarves a playable race in Sky? Okay, I didn't think so. To help them destroy their enemies and serve as a tool to transcend reality and achieve Chim. Okay. A physical and spiritual state like nirvana, which allows mortals to break reality. As you do. The first Numidium was an Numidium, built by the Dwemer architect Kagranak with the heart of Lorcan. The second Numidium was a Kulakan. I need like a visual representation of these. Okay. A Kulakan, who you mentioned, was the second Numidium, which is a mechanical god. A Kulakan was a mechanical god who was built using the tools of Kagranak, who built the first Numidium and Numidium. So Kagranak is a builder of gods, a builder of mechanical gods, who built an Numidium, and then his tools were then used to build the second Numidium. Okay. A Kulakan was never completed. A Kulakan being the second Numidium, who was built using the Kagranak's tools. Wait. Yeah. Okay. I just had like numbers like flying past my face. The completion of the first Numidium resulted in the vanishing of the dwarves. They may have all died or reached another plane. I don't know. It's vague. Yeah, they chimmed out. They like clipped. They went to the back rooms. The Skyrim back rooms. So raffle drawing is going to be done at the con. Maybe if we can stream. And really, like, maybe it's already happened. But we need 1,000 followers on TikTok in order to like stream. And that is a really, really easy way for us to like go live and stream at like conventions and stuff. Super easy to stream on TikTok, no matter what you think about the app or the stuff that's going on with it. Whatever. It's very, very easy to like stream on it, which is awesome. So hey, if you haven't followed us on TikTok and you want us to be able to go live at GaryCon, go follow us there. Because man, that would be awesome to hit that and be able to like do the raffle drawing live. I just think that'd be fun. Never wanted to win a raffle so much. The library would love to win and share that with everyone. Man, I really hope it goes to you guys. Just know that I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna make a note of it. Correct. Okay. So I've got a grasp on it. A Kool-Aid can. Kool-Aid man is made of Numidium. I don't know where the heart of Lorcan comes from. Probably some shit in Daggerfall or something. I don't know. I ain't playing that shit. Well, what is Lorcan? Do we know what Lorcan is? I hope they reprint / release the rest of Yggsburgh neighborhood books. I think we polled that recently. I think we're talking about it. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to make any promises. This project is already absolutely insane. I'll try to be down at the table for the drawing. Yeah. Oh man, that would be really fun if people come and watch in real life. Like, I'm thinking about this as like a streamer, like live streaming it. But man, if people came, and imagine like if we draw like somebody's name who's like there, that'd be really cool. I think that'd be neat. It has to be something to do with some guy called the Underking, who is like a lich or something. He's on the he's on the box. Wait, Lorcan?
Lorcan is a god.
Lorcan is a god. Is he a Numidium?
No. I think he's like I think he might be an elven god.
An elven god.
There's something, maybe like he's like missing or something. He was like
Maybe he's missing?
Like the missing god. I don't remember.
We don't know. I'm just a girl. I don't know.
I have restarted Daggerfall recently.
Okay. So you're getting a crash course through the lore.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it. No.
You're internalizing all the details.
I'm dying to bears and dungeons.
As it should be. Apparently Lorcan is a dead or lost god who created the physical world. Okay. Both Numidium and Akulakan scan to Manamana. It just becomes like Charlie Brown adults like womp 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 womp. Hey, Wily Hobbit at Bag End. Eee, so excited for Zagyg. So are we. We're very, very excited. Are we reading? I was thinking maybe tonight we wouldn't read. We would just have like a chill kind of hangout and maybe talk about Castle Zagyg or GaryCon. I am not like the brains behind this operation. if you can't tell by the green beer of it all. But I know some stuff. So if you have any questions about Castle Zagyg, at least like Jeremy and I think Chuck are in chat. So that's 2 responsible adults who know the basics of what we're doing here. But I can answer some stuff. So I thought we would just talk about like Gary Con and the campaign and just all sorts of that kind of stuff. They were knocking around the idea of stretch goals, but I think there was a book planned for every ward of the city. That would be crazy if we did a book for every ward of the city. That would be really, really extensive. But I feel like that's the type of thing we would do. I don't know. Who knows? He did some shit with the Aedra or something. What's the Aedra? This is just like a thread on a sweater that you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling until there's no more sweater left. Phenomena is Muppet Classics. I remember the first time I saw the Phenomena video. That was like OG YouTube. You know? Wily Hobbit, I have a game with him on Saturday morning. Hey, nice. Very, very excited to have everybody in the same city and in the same convention and say hi to all the awesome people. What is GaryCon like? Do you feel a sense of history at the Horticulture Hall? I actually don't know anything about the Horticulture Hall. Is that so? The convention is held at the Geneva Grand Hotel. Is there a Horticulture Hall in the Grand? It's a banquet hall in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I don't know if I've been there. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. I would love to go. It is a conference center. So it's not held. The convention is not held in the Horticulture Hall. However, I would love to go there and feel the history, because that would be really cool. But GaryCon's awesome. It's really like chill. Sorry, I must be. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's in like Geneva. You have this like same area and stuff. But GaryCon is amazing. I went into my first one not really sure what to expect. I hadn't really been to a gaming convention ever before. And everyone was just so like enthusiastic and kind and welcoming and warm and like just so free with their like ideas and feedback. It's a very inspiring place to be. Just a lot of people who care about this hobby and want to create cool stuff for it, which is my favorite type of environment ever. So yeah, GaryCon is amazing. It's very different from like Gen Con. Not that Gen Con's like not a great experience. Gen Con was so much fun. This past year was my very first Gen Con ever, and that was a great experience. But Gen Con is like unfathomably huge, and GaryCon is small, but it makes you feel limitless. Like there's no like ceiling to what you can accomplish when you're at GaryCon, like talking to people there. It's just the best. So if you've never been, you should definitely go. Horticultural Hall is in Lake Geneva. It was where the second Gen Con was held. The second Gen Con? Or GaryCon? The first was Gary's basement, I thought. Oh my. Wait, Aedra are like angels or something. They're somehow related to Daedra, who are like demons. Aedra and Daedra. Angels and demons. Nice. Some of them aren't like mean demons, and some are worshipped as gods, so who knows. I like spiritual entities to be like individuals that can kind of be on any side of the morality spectrum. I think that makes them more interesting. Evil angels. I watched Jason's interview with Harmony Ginger, which if you haven't seen that interview, you can watch the VOD. It's on Harmony Ginger's channel on YouTube. And they talked a little bit about Infernum and Exaltum. If you're if you're waiting on that Kickstarter, progress is coming along really well. But they were just talking about like different types of angels and what it kind of means to come face to face with an angel, and how that might be different than what one like might expect if they haven't ventured into a lot of like high fantasy before. It was a cool interview, and they had some really cool like conversation about it. Okay, Google tells me the Aedra are dead spirits and gods tricked by Lorcan to help make up the physical manifestation of the world. But Lorcan is not a Numidium. Got it. Yes, you will get a sense of history of the Grand Geneva where Gary Con is hosted. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I didn't know that the Grand Geneva was built by Frank Lloyd Wright. I've studied a lot about Alden Dow, who was an architect who studied underneath Frank Lloyd Wright. And Frank Lloyd Wright was like a mentor to him, but then they became really, really good friends over the course of their lives. And then they had a crazy falling out. And that's one of my favorite stories I think ever, and I've told it multiple times on this channel. We won't dive into it again, but every time I see like a Frank Lloyd Wright structure, I'm like, I know I've been to a few Gary Cons already. The map is finally starting to make sense to me. Honestly, yeah, it takes a few like passes through. The underground tunnels are really what got me the first time. I swear by the old gods and the new that I will attend the next GaryCon. The old gods and new are going to hold you to that. So I guess you better start making plans. GaryCon feels like family. Hard to describe. Yeah. I mean, it's just like a cool place where everyone's super encouraging and like ready to collaborate. It's awesome. Until Gen Con moved to... An original Gen Con was in Lake Geneva until it moved to Indiana. I had no idea. Also, welcome in, McBoy. It's good to see you. I had no idea. That's really cool. Had cursed 13 likes. I made it 14. I am the lucky number. Thank you, Starla. We appreciate you. Thanks for not letting us linger on an unlucky number. Lorcan is unrelated to the Numidium, other than his heart being used as a battery for them. Okay, so his heart is there, but the rest of him is missing. Am I getting that right? I like that this stream has like a subplot where we're just learning about the lore of Morrowind. They call the first Gen Con at Gary's Gen Con 0. The one at the Horticultural Hall was Gen Con 1. That's cool. Are you aware of its history as the Playboy Club? Only that it was one. I don't know the specifics. Do you know details that you would share? The Gen in Gen Con is for Geneva. No. That's why it's called Gen Con, the Geneva Convention. We gather together to celebrate that we don't do war crimes. Hey guys, how terrible is mustard gas? Hate that shit. 3-sided swords? Nah. Yeah, swords with like 3 blades or 3 edges. They're notoriously difficult to sew on people if you're like cut with a sword with 3 sides. And they were banned under the Geneva Convention.
Like a bayonet or like a sword?
Just both.
Like
Any.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually.
I saw pictures in like high school, which was the last time I thought about this. And it's just any kind of like blade that's like shaped like a triangle and has 3 like blades on it. Apparently those are really difficult to heal if you're cut with one of those. So his heart really is in it. He really put his heart into it. As opposed to most people who are there, but their heart is missing. So true. Make war games, not war. Just games. Zero war, all games. Honestly, hear me out. A tabletop, this would be small, but like a tabletop role-playing game convention where it's just all games that have no combat in them. They might have like scary, like, I don't know, not to say like no enemies, but like no combat system. That would be cool. I am just so like interested in seeing what kind of games people are making right now. I've been so enchanted by 10 Candles, if any of you have heard of that one, and by Dread, the Jenga one. That's almost Call of Cthulhu. Exactly. I think shit like that is so cool. Where you're forced to handle things in some kind of way other than like fight it, you know? The combat would be between the players instead of the area. As the game master, it's like, okay, so you're trying to pick a lock. Okay. We don't roll dice in this tabletop RPG. You have to physically best me if you want to succeed. If you want to succeed at your action, you have to beat me. I don't know. I would like a game where the mechanic is all the players have to physically battle. Call of Cthulhu has rules for combat, but if you use them, you're doing something wrong. Or make it the best with what you got. There's an RPG where you play old ladies solving mysteries in a New England town a la Murder, She Wrote. Do share. What's the name? Don't gatekeep. Hey, Trustworthy, welcome in. Good to see you. How you been? How's stuff going? Mostly Trustworthy is an actual player. If you guys go follow Charmed Fantasy on Twitch, they do a lot of really cool like actual plays, and I think it's mostly like 5e but like heavily homebrewed and just super cool. They have a bunch of great shows over there, so go follow them and support Mostly Trustworthy. They're lovely. Hey, and Roleplay Dungeon, thank you for the follow. One of us. Baker Street RPG. It's called Baker Street RPG. Okay. Baker Street RPG. I'm gonna look that up. One of us. It's good to see you. Are you gonna be joining us at GaryCon this coming week? This week? Oh my god, this week? In 2 days? Don't mind me. I'm just losing my mind. I had a glass of green beer and it's been a crazy day. So it's great. Brindlewood Bay. Wait, then what was Baker Street RPG? Brindlewood Bay RPG. Old ladies solving mysteries. This is really what these streams are for. It's to solicit you all for your recommendations on different media so that I can become more powerful. I'm in the UK. I'm afraid I don't know what GaryCon is. Well, hey, hello from the States. I hope all's well. Your time, are you 6 hours ahead of us or 6 hours behind us or what? Either way, happy evening or good morning or good afternoon. Cilantro. Slancha? Slancha. Oh my god, I got it right. Depends on where you are, but it's 1:20 a.m. here. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Then I'd actually take that back. It's no longer St. Paddy's Day for you. So, unslancha. How's it going? GaryCon is a memorial convention for Gary Gygax. It's a very special one because we're currently kickstarting Castle Zagyg, which was Gary's kind of like final project, and one of the greatest tabletop RPG sandboxes and mega dungeons ever. So very special time, very cool stuff in the works, and we're very excited for this GaryCon. Can we get a game where we play Inside Out-esque critters inside the head of and vying for control of Conan the Barbarian? Here's the thing. I have thought about something very similar. I thought it would be so fun if literally exactly like that, where you're playing as like characters inside the body of like a fucking like fantasy character, like a hero in like a tabletop game, and you have to like work to get like, I don't know, maybe I don't know what the adventure would be, but there would be some sort of adventure like inside the body, and you would see like combat play out outside. Like, I don't know, like all the details, you'd work that out in post. We'd have Jeremy write it. But I've had that same thought. That would be a really, really, really cool adventure. Okay, Google, show me old ladies solving mysteries. I'm on too many lists. I can't be on another one. There are a lot of cozy fantasy games coming out now that have little or no combat. Yeah. I want to explore more of them. We have played one session of Wanderhome and came up with like the edgiest like characters ever. It was so funny. Our first session was actually really good. I was really happy with the story that we started telling. What was your character?
River.
What species of animal was he? He's a coyote. River the coyote and Karis the doe are going on a little Wanderhome adventure. It's been a lot of fun. It's been super fun. Cilantro is something else. Nah, come on, it's basically the same. Need a Halloween season like GenevaCon called ScaryCon. Oh. And then like and then like a Christmas one called MerryCon. Like a high fantasy like summer festival called FairyCon.
Damn it! I was trying to think of how to.
DairyCon.
Hey, yo. That's,
You're speaking Nick's language. Tuesday night. It's a real TLG stream. Jeremy has been assigned another random project out of nowhere. I learn the ropes eventually. I'm a slow learner, but I get it. I get it eventually. What you do is shrink the PCs down, put them in a mechanical man, and have them pulling levers and turning knobs to control him as he stumbles dumbly through a 4-room dungeon. Put them into a new medium!
It's all full circle.
Now we're talking! Fruit-focused BerryCon? I would go to BerryCon. Stop, that sounds awesome.
A convention where everyone wears like hoodies and sunglasses, and it's WaryCon. You have to
Wear stuff?
You have to be wary of everyone around you.
Because everyone's dressed shady, so it's WaryCon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm 2 cilantros in, so.
Oh my god. Will you be going to Page in January? I would really like to. I don't have plans. But I guess like they've kind of told me that I can tag along to whatever con. It's tough because it like I'm the one who answers like the TLG email. So if I'm not in the office, then like product support isn't like being monitored. And there have been like a few times where Chuck and Steve have like teamed up to just pull me out of like the pit of being absolutely fucking swamped with emails. So I don't want to assume like, or I don't want to communicate the idea that I do it completely alone and nobody ever helps me. They help me out a ton. But going to cons really like affects our workflow a lot. I would really like to go to Page though. Maybe I will. Did we go to Page this past year? Okay, it was Gamehole Con that we went to. And Gen Con. Okay. Okay. They complete a Coolacan and control it as it smashes around Red Mountain, killing Imperials. Pog. Poggies. GG's. An after-hours convention with no one but the volunteers, playing with the last of the swag and earning the leftovers in the con suite. Nary Con. I'm into it. That sounds awesome, actually. Like a con after party. Come on. That sounds so great. A wine-based convention, Sherry Con. Now that's a con. I'm looking at my keyboard. A convention of people named Larry. It's Larry Con. Anyway. Jerry Con, the Seinfeld convention. That's funny. Hey, Dougie, welcome in. Good to see you. How's it going? Are we going to see you at Gary Con? Generally, I have a strong aversion to cozy fantasy. I get it in a way as a complete escape from something comfortable and representative of a small community of pleasant people. That's not really what I'm after in a game. I think that's fair. I think when I'm playing like a cozy fantasy game, like in the singular game of Wanderhome that we've played, what I find myself wanting to focus on is like the relationship between the player characters and flexing my own like storytelling muscle. It feels like a totally, and so like I guess I'm talking more about Wanderhome specifically and less like general cozy games, because Wanderhome is a tabletop game without a game master where it's just like players telling a story, and it feels like a really unique like practice. I feel like I'm in the sword fighting arena just doing like the tutorial over and over again, like practicing, and it feels really good. I kind of love it.
You don't have combat to fall back on.
Wait, can you... it doesn't look like it's catching on the mic. Can you come say it louder? I'm sorry. You were saying. Say hi, Knock. The stash is back.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the stash yet. For now.
I was just saying, like, I think the cool thing about Wanderhome is, like, you don't have combat to fall back on, you know? Like,
yeah.
You have a smaller toolbox, and I think that like forces more creativity.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I've felt the same way about practicing different like poetic forms, which like I've only ever published like free form spoken word poetry, but practicing with like and just learning about like ghazals and haikus and like Ars Poetica and like all sorts of that kind of stuff, like really more Ars Poetica less so, but like just heavily structured like poetic forms. It made me better, I think, at the freeform stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you practice like using a particular tool, you're not just learning how to use the tool, you're learning how to like look at storytelling and writing, if you're talking poetry, from like a new angle. And I feel like Wanderhome is exactly that. It's just giving me like it's giving me like a thing that I can chew on and just sink my teeth into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think like I don't know. Like a lot of times it does feel like combat is used as a crutch for like generating like when stuff slows down in your RPG, you like throw in like a combat or like something, I don't know, like just that like the limitations provide you like a space to exist within, and you have to think of like other solutions to like engagement and like to the problems you face like in the game.
I treat combat like load bearing beams. in like a house.
Yeah.
Like pillars.
That's a huge way to, yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And like, if you suddenly don't have that anymore, then you've got to like find other ways to pace your shit, which then allows you to use those methods when you're running like a less cozy, you know, CNC or whatever.
That's right. Like,
can we play more Wander?
Totally. and that's exactly, you're exactly right. I get what you're saying about like writing earlier, like focusing on the individual muscle group required in like Wonderhome, for instance, like allows you to bring that to bear in, you know, in more expansive, encompassing games.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, yeah.
I think everyone should try a game that makes them super uncomfortable with mechanics that they've never really tried before and like stuff that they're not familiar with. I think that will only make you a better storyteller and gamer.
I think Wonderhome is very uncomfortable.
Super uncomfortable. We've been like, we have not played a second session because we don't even know how to like get started, which I'm on the verge of just like creating a ritual for us.
I think that's start. It's the hardest part, because like for those of you not familiar, like Wonderhome doesn't require a GM, so it's just really you're just. In the times I've done it, and I've done it with Grace, and I've done it with a friend, and it's just been like 2 people each time. It could be bigger groups, but like not having a GM really just means that you're kind of like talking about and like telling a story back and forth to each other, which was a really, really weird. It's really weird for me as like an RPG player.
It's weird with no structure.
Yeah, because you don't have somebody like, because you know,
no one directing the flow of the game, and
exactly,
it's time to move on from the scene. Like you decide that together, collaboratively. It's all collaborative.
And like the hardest part is like starting.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's easier to like get into a groove, you know, once you get going. But like that first word of like, all right, I'm making the choice to like say. Maybe this is what's happening when we open up this scene.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's cool. Poetry peaked with the tale of the shipwrecked sailor by Anonymous, 2200 BC. Here's the thing. Can I get on a poetry tangent?
Get on it.
You're wrong. You're so wrong. Poetry peaked in the 2018 Cupsy season, which stands for Collegiate Union's Poetry Slam Invitational. It's the kind of national, international competition for top honors for like college students as far as like poetry slams go. There was a team. I want to say it was like a Chicago team, but they performed a spoken word group poem where there was 4 of them on stage. God, I can't remember the name of the poem. But they memorized 12 pages of material because it was a choose-your-own-adventure spoken word poem.
No way.
I don't know if anyone has, like... I don't know if anyone has, like, performed in, like, a really intense, like, poetry slam. You don't fuck around with your timing. You plan that shit down to the second. And they, like, paused. They waited for audience input. They did their poem. Like... It was different every time I heard it. Oh my God. It was masterful. That was when poetry peaked. And
that is crazy.
It's going to peak again because I guarantee that performance inspired so many people. God, it was cool.
A recording of that performance?
There is. I'll find it. I'll post it somewhere because it's so good. Really just Google, or not Google, search on YouTube like Cupsy performances. They're so good.
King Kothar, to answer your question, I think that's about Wonderhome. Is there an engine to engage with and help resolve things, or is it just collaborative storytelling? It's, I mean, a
and
little
are
bit.
There mechanics? Sort of.
Sort of. Like,
I haven't read the book in a while.
So the idea is, you select what's called a playbook, which is like your character archetype, and you make choices therein to kind of design your character.
The closest thing we would compare that to is like a class.
Yeah.
It's like choosing your class. My character was a veteran. Yours was a
vagabond.
Like a delinquent-y, like roguish type. Mine was like a retired soldier.
And there's several of them, and they're all really cool, and I think they're all great like character building tools just in and of themselves. think the book is worth it just for that.
Yeah.
But so
you keep talking. I'm gonna search for this poem.
Your playbook defines a few things about like the character you're playing, and like you receive a list of like things you can like always do, which are really just like,
it's an open-ended mechanic.
Yeah, it's really just suggestions to like enforce the archetype of the character that you have. And there is like a light mechanic of like earning and like spending tokens to do certain things. But it really is all kind of lightly draped over the game itself. It really is mostly like a collaborative storytelling game with some game elements. And the other big portion of the game is creating the locales. So locales are comprised of like 3 natures, and each of those natures also is kind of like a playbook for a place. So you make places, and you make the people within those places, and you make your characters. And there's just not really like a huge separation between anything. Like any person, and I mean, it depends on your group. You can agree to certain things. You certainly can have a GM run the game.
I mean, it's not dissimilar from Castles and Crusades in that the mechanics are very open-ended. It's very take it or leave it, and you make of it whatever you want to make of it. Yeah. Which I think works for Castles and Crusades, and I think it works for Wanderhome. Yeah. Specifically, like, the things you can always do. An example is, like, as the Vagabond, one of the things you can always do is draw your sword and kill the veteran, sorry, not Vagabond.
Yeah, that's a great line.
You can draw your sword and kill the person in front of you and immediately retire your character and never play them again. That's something that you can always do. Yeah. Another thing is, like, I don't know, what would be another, I'm trying to like think of specific examples to kind of,
like, for the Vagabond, one of the ones is like you can always like get into like something you're not, you can always basically be somewhere you're not supposed to be. Yeah. And it's like they're really more like prompts to like
exactly
really like put meat onto the bones of like the character and fill out that fantasy. Yeah. How do you handle NPCs?
You probably take turns playing them, right?
I mean, you kind of handle it. It really is kind of like when it comes to NPCs, like everyone is the DM, and like if somebody's like, hey, I have an idea for like what this NPC does or how they might react,
then you go with it.
You go with it, or you can just talk about it. Like,
if we say like, okay, I'm a doe, you're a coyote, we see a bird at the opposite end of the bar who's just sitting and not talking with anybody. I think that the bird is really trying to not be like seen or noticed by anybody. Yeah. They're kind of in like a darkened corner. They look a little bit fidgety. I'm not the GM. I have no authority, but I'm just like talking. And anyone can just like talk and say shit. And it's very, very open-ended.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, is it a game? Like, if you make it one,
everything can be a game.
And I think the like the benefit you get from the book is obviously like the playbooks that come along with it, and just the world building. And I think that is kind of more what they focused on in the book, is like setting the tone for the kind of game that it is, which is
the
very
book.
Like what's that book, like Wind in the Willows, I think, where it's like Toad and Rat and Badger and like those guys. It's very much that kind of vibe.
Do y'all sort of vote to decide the truth, or is it where once something is said, it's willed into reality? I imagine it can be either. There are systems for like voting on things, but for the most part, it's just kind of like agree on it, figure it out.
Just figure it out.
Which
that's really it.
Is my favorite mechanic of all. Like, okay, there's no rule here. Yeah. Figure it out.
But also you come up against a thing inevitably where it's like somebody, that's not what they don't want that to happen. They don't see it happening, and like that's okay. You just figure it out. You figure out what works for you guys as a group, which I think is the same in any like TTRPG. Like there's been plenty of times in our games where like somebody has done something and somebody else has been like, hey,
I don't feel good about that.
or I don't even feel good about how I engaged with what you did. Can we maybe take that back and try again?
Can we replay the scene? Yeah, like that sort of thing. Which I recognize is a very different style of play from a lot of the more like old school kind of stuff, you know, where it's more about like killing monsters and delving into dungeons, and like that's super fun too. But I don't know, it's very cool to like just have a game that's focused totally on like storytelling, because I really think that it does contribute to running other types of more like crunchy, more traditional types of like RPGs.
Yeah, I think it just teaches you how to like, I don't know, I think there's a like this idea that floats around that like, man, once something happens, that's it and it's done. Like,
which is fun.
It can be. And like in a game like CNC where you've got rolls that decide stuff, like that's one thing.
Yeah.
Like you go with the rolls, that's fine. But like with our interactions, like we might inhabit these characters momentarily from time to time.
Yeah.
But like within the context of their reality, they're themselves all the time. So if you like perform an action as this character, or you have an engagement and you're like, that doesn't really feel right for them. Like it's okay to just be like, that doesn't feel right. Can we run that back and give another shot?
Yeah.
I think Wonder Home does a lot of work in like letting you stretch that.
Yeah. Thanks, Nog.
Yeah, thanks.
Everybody say bye, Nog.
Over.
I don't know about that. I'd try it. It's cool. It's really cool. It's, you know, it's a very, very different feel from like CNC. And I'm sorry, I know that we've like harped on like not Trollard games for like a while, but it's cool. And I think that like with the con coming up, I think that's just like a good mindset to be in. Like, try new stuff. Try a game that is realms beyond anything that you've ever tried before, and see how it like inspires you in like your regular games, you know? I just think that's a good practice. And I want to get better about it too, about like carving out more time for like other games and, you know, that sort of stuff. But it's fun. Now that our Wander Home rant is complete, we're very excited for GaryCon. I'm going to post the link to the backer kit just one more time. Let's see where we're at, actually. 401,844. That's so insane. 1,838 backers. 18 days left. We are not even a week in. This is an incredible amount of support. Any of y'all that are like here hanging out with us that have like donated, super appreciate it. Thank you. I think that we're gonna go ahead and call it there. But thank you all so much for hanging out with us. This has been super, super cool. If you're going to be at GaryCon, please come say hi. We're going to be at the booth. We're going to have panels, all sorts of stuff. And it's going to be awesome. And we would all really love to see you there. So definitely come say hi. And follow us on TikTok so we can like live stream while we're there. Let's see who we can toss a raid to. Ooh. Game Master Monday? That sounds cool. Let's check them out. This is a new channel. I haven't raided into them before, but let's go show them some love and say hi to their stream. Thank you all again so much for hanging out. This was super cool. I loved like just chatting about different tabletop games and GaryCon and like all the stuff that we have on the docket for this like next week. Shit's gonna be picking up and it's gonna be going crazy. So check the newsletters. We're gonna be emailing out a lot of them. Thank you all for tuning in. I might see you next week. If not, I'll see you the week after. Same time, same place. Thank you all again so much for hanging out. Say a nice thing to the streamer if you have time. And I will see you hopefully at GaryCon. Go in peace. Make the words do good. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.